Vote 40 joins us now. Thank you so much, Congressman, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So like us, you've seen those protests all around the country lately, and you've heard the outrage. Why did you decide you did not want to support this bill?
Well, as the first member of Congress to oppose the Wall Street bailout in the first place, I had a practical reason and a constitutional reason. The practical reason is that I don't believe that they should be allowed to keep any of the bonus money. And I also don't think they should be allowed to get any of the $30 billion that they can tap into right now. As you know, I've called for them to be broken up now rather than waiting 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road after more taxpayer money's gone into it. Secondly, I think what's happened too is that if for a political cover vote, the United States Congress has shown again that the inability to provide certainty of policy to the financial markets to reinstill investor confidence and, more importantly, public confidence in their financial institutions.
Let me ask you, you bring up the Constitution of it, and I've read a couple of articles with some leading legal experts out there who say that this tax legislation that the House passed is broad enough because it does not name names. Even though we're talking a lot about AIG, it was broadened beyond AIG, and it has, as a result, has not run afoul of the Constitution. And this is coming from a number of people, including Edward McAfee, a tax expert at USC.
Yes, and there are lawyers that will tell you that it does. But the practical matter, if you go back to that, is you've just passed a bill that says they get to keep 10% of these bonuses. They shouldn't keep any of it.
So how do you keep them from getting any of it? What's your plan?
It's very simple. It's very simple. You have the Secretary of the Treasury tell them they will not access $30 billion and will go bankrupt unless, as Mr. Liddy has said, instead of getting 50% back, you get 100% of those bonuses back or you go into bankruptcy. That is the first thing you can do. The second thing you can do is repeal the Dodd Amendment that was voted on by every Democrat that voted for the stimulus that allowed them to keep all those bonuses in the first place.
Well, let me ask you this. You've got a lot of Republicans, 85 Republicans, including Minority Whip Eric Cantor, a rising star in your party, who voted to tax these bonuses. Do you believe that they have somehow wronged the party, and that you have so many who point out, including Huffington Post contributor Lawrence O'Donnell, that this may go against the core principles of the Republican Party not to raise taxes?
Well, I think the real question is how we got in this instance in the first place. Reasonable minds can differ within a party.
But talk to me a little bit about the Republicans who voted to tax it.
Yes, of course you are, and I'm trying to answer your question. Reasonable minds in the Republican Party can differ as to how to get that money back. That's fine. We've had an instance, though, where this was caused by the fact that a stimulus bill that was not allowed to be read by any member, including the Democrats who voted for it, had a provision inserted in the dead of night that said those bonuses would be grandfathered and protected. It was signed into law by a Democratic president. So the Republican Party is dealing with a problem that was created despite us begging them to let us read the bill and their own members to read the bill. And we are adjusting to this, and reasonable minds in our party will differ on it.
And if those facts are true, then you have 85 Republicans who went through with it despite some of the concerns you've just named.
Yes, again, reasonable minds can differ, but we're in a situation because the Democratic majority, which is a proven fact, decided to run this bill, vote it, make it law.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.